Hey guys, welcome back to ITower. In the last video we went through templates and syntax, so if you haven't caught that one yet, it's worth going back to since a lot of what we're about to build leans on it. Today we're diving into what actually happens once those templates need to be broken apart and reused, because here's a scenario you've probably lived through. You open up a Vue file that's supposed to render a simple user card, and instead you find 800 lines of template, a pile of unrelated methods, styles that somehow affect 3 other pages you didn't even touch, and nobody on the team wants to be the one who edits it next. That's not a hypothetical. That's what happens to almost every frontend codebase that never learned to break itself apart. Components are the fix for that. And today is specifically about what a component actually is, how it's structured, and how you put several of them together. We'll save how they actually talk to each other for next time, since that deserves its own full video. If digging into how frameworks like this actually work under the hood is your kind of thing, sticking around and subscribing means you won't miss it. Let's start with the smallest possible piece, just to see what a component actually is, before we do anything else with it. So here's about the simplest component you can write. It's just a little card showing a name and a job title. What matters here isn't really the content, it's the shape. Notice this file has a template section defining what actually gets drawn on the page, and a style section right underneath it. And that style block has a word attached to it called scoped, which means these styles only apply inside this one component and nowhere else in your app, even if some other component out there happens to also have a class called userCard. That single detail is a big part of why component solves the mess we talked about a minute ago. Styling one piece of your interface can no longer accidentally reach out and break 3 other pages, because Vue keeps it boxed in. On its own though, a component like this is only useful once, since the name and job title are hard-coded right into it. The whole point is being able to use the same shape more than once, so let's bring it into another file and actually reuse it. This is where the reuse actually shows up. This page imports that card component by name, and then drops it into the template 3 separate times, like it's just another regular piece of markup sitting alongside your divs and paragraphs. Right now, all 3 would look identical since we hard-coded the name earlier, and making each one show different information is exactly what next video is about, so we're not gonna get into that today. Just notice the shape of this for now. One definition, reused as many times as you need it, and if you ever need to change how every single card in your app looks, you're editing exactly one file instead of hunting through every page that happens to have one. Now, there are actually 2 different ways. Vue lets you write the logic side of a component, and you'll run into both depending on which project or tutorial you're looking at. So it's worth seeing them side by side. These 2 blocks do the exact same thing, they just organize it differently. The first one is an older, more structured style, where a component is basically one big configuration object. State lives inside a function called data that returns an object, and behavior lives inside a separate section called methods, and Vue wires the 2 together for you behind the scenes. The second version is the newer style, where instead of grouping code by what type of thing it is, everything just reads like normal JavaScript sitting inside a script tag marked as setup. That function called ref takes a starting value, here just a plain boolean, and turns it into something Vue can actively watch for changes. And notice inside the script we reach into it through a property called value to actually read or flip it, since ref hands back an object wrapping our value rather than the value itself. Neither style is wrong. Plenty of real codebases use the older one, but most new Vue code you'll see going forward leans toward the second style, especially once components start doing more than a couple of things. State inside a component is only half the picture though, because components also need to know when they're actually alive on the page. This is a small component whose only job is to go grab a list of products once it exists. We've got a piece of reactive state starting out as an empty list, and a function that fetches from an endpoint, waits for the response, and stores whatever comes back. The piece that actually kicks this off is that function called onMounted. Its callback runs the moment this component first appears on the page, which makes it the natural place to trigger a fetch like this, since there's no point trying to grab data before there's anywhere on screen to put it yet. This is the kind of thing that lives inside a component almost constantly in real applications, and it's worth knowing it exists even though today isn't a deep dive into every lifecycle Hook View offers. Once you've got a handful of components like these, each one handling its own little piece, the last thing worth seeing today is how they actually sit together to form a real page. This is the shape almost every real Vue page eventually takes. A parent component that doesn't really render much on its own, but instead just arranges a handful of smaller components underneath it, a header up top, a sidebar off to the side, and the main content in the middle. None of these three pieces need to know anything about each other. Each one just handles its own little corner of the page, and this parent is the only piece that actually understands how they're laid out together. What we haven't touched yet is how information actually flows between components like this, how a header might need to know who's logged in, or how a sidebar might need to tell the main content which filter got clicked. And that's genuinely its own topic with enough depth to earn its own video. So that's exactly where we're headed next. This pattern of small, self-contained pieces is exactly what's running underneath basically every production Vue application out there. Shopping platforms build out product cards, cart pieces, and checkout steps the same way, each one isolated enough to test on its own. Dashboards split their charts, their filters, and their tables into separate components that get arranged by a parent, the same way we just laid out a header, a sidebar, and some content. And once a team gets big enough, this same idea scales into full design systems, a shared library of buttons and cards that every team pulls from. So an entire product keeps a consistent feel without every team reinventing the same piece from scratch. So the real takeaway today isn't the specific syntax, it's the shape. A component is a self-contained chunk of template, logic, and scope styling that you can drop anywhere and reuse as many times as you want. Next time, we'll get into how these pieces actually pass information back and forth, and after that we'll look at how you conditionally show things and loop over lists inside a template. So if any of that sounds like exactly the piece you were missing, that's coming soon. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.